Lots of big news coming in this morning surrounding Manchester United in terms of transfers. An update on Todibo, Yoro, Antonio Silva, Frenkie De Jong, Kimmich, and more. Ten Hag receiving a big boost. Is his job safe? Is INEOS going to give him time? Is this newfound transfer news linked with potential reports that Ten Hag's job is safe and INEOS are cracking to business and have a plan in place? Updates on Kobbie Mainoo's future, the youth, young players, and more. So much to dive into in today's show, and it's so nice to actually have lots and lots of news to talk about because I feel like the last few days we've been lacking the news. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. Welcome back to your Manchester United news roundup, where I'm going to be rounding up all the news from transfers to takeovers on Ten Hag's future and more in the next 10 minutes for you guys. So it was said in regards to transfers from Fabrizio Romano, tier 1 source. Antonio Silva, Yoro, and Jean-Claude Todibo are three centre-backs Man United really appreciate. Then you had Steve Bates, very good source as well, saying that United scouts have been tracking fullback Aaron Hickey, Brentford value at 40 million. And then we had this report that Frenkie De Jong is not ruling out leaving Barcelona this summer, and United are very interested in signing him. So let me dive into this news. Antonio Silva, Lenny Yoro, and Jean-Claude Todibo, we've been linked to them. Romano's linked them to us. I'm sure that scouts at United are interested in the players. Three unbelievable players, yet Lenny Yoro and Antonio Silva a little bit younger and will be more expensive, but probably have a higher ceiling, and Todibo is at Nice. Now, I've always said with transfer news, we don't know the director of football is. We still don't really know about Ten Hag's future, but it's looking more towards safe after the reports we're going to get into in about 3 minutes' time. So I do think a lot of transfer news and targets you do have to take with a pinch of salt. That being said, if it's coming out from Romano that we like still with Lenny, Yoro, and Todibo, well, we definitely do like Lenny, Yoro, Todibo, and Silva. But maybe if Dan Ashworth comes in as sporting director, he may not like one of them, and that could change. But what I think is Antonio Silva, Lenny Yoro, Jean-Claude Todibo, and Branthwaite are 4 genuine centre-back targets by the scouts, by Ten Hag, and that the likely sporting director might choose his favourite of those 4 options or suggest someone new. It was also said we're looking at Brentford fullback Aaron Hickey and value him at £40 million. Now, this could have something to do with Wan-Bissaka potentially leaving the club. I think Aaron Hickey's a decent player, but he's never really caught my eye when I've watched Brentford. £40 million, personally, a little bit expensive. And then the third story was that Frenkie De Jong is not ruling out leaving Barcelona this summer, and Man United are interested in signing him. And I think, to be honest, I don't care. I love Frenkie De Jong. You guys know I love Frenkie De Jong. Frenkie De Jong's the dream signing, but we've got Mainoo coming through. We've got Mount. Yes, Frenkie De Jong would be brilliant and amazing for that position, but I think our priority in midfield is someone that can play as a 6. Would I say no to Frenkie De Jong? Absolutely not. I welcome Frenkie De Jong with open arms. Am I saying no for going into Frenkie De Jong because I don't want another dramatic situation of Frenkie De Jong this, Frenkie De Jong that? Exactly. I cannot be bothered with it again. I think he might be frustrated at Barcelona, the club that he loves and will never want to leave. But also, could he be using this for a new contract? Could he be using this to get what he wants at Barcelona? Could he be using his agent, link him into Manchester United again? For me, I think take the De Jong news with a pinch of salt. Keep an eye on the Aaron Hickey news. But as I've said, with the takeover, it's not been ratified. We don't know who the director of football is. We have to take transfer news with a pinch of salt. But also keep an eye on Antonio Silva, Lenny Yoro, and Jean-Claude Todibo, because they are genuine targets by United. That can change when the director of football comes in and a decision is made on the manager, but they are genuine targets, and Romano's confirmed that. Rob Dawson said this, that United are exploring a number of deals ahead of the summer with players such as Kimmich, Jonathan David, and Thuram, and Alphonso Davies set to be out of contract in 2025, and United have been looking at players with 1 year left on their contract. I think Kimmich could be a smart move, even though I don't like going for older players. Imagine if we got Kimmich and De Jong in the same transfer window. That would be madness, but we should have done it 3 years ago as well. Jonathan David, I don't personally see enough of him, but apparently he's good, but I don't know. Thuram's obviously been very good at Nice. Not as good this season. I think Todibo's been a standout player, and of course Alphonso Davies could be some healthy competition for sure. Now, I want to get past the transfer news and really talk about Ten Hag's future, because, as I've said before, transfer news, nothing is done, nothing is decided yet, so you just do have to take it with a pinch of salt. But this is what was said on Ten Hag's future. This is half of the report. This is the first half. Let's dive into this. Senior sources at Manchester United say Ten Hag may be given another season to press on with his vision of the new United. Ten Hag's willingness to embrace youth talent from academy plays a lot of favour at the club. There has also been an acceptance that alongside months of takeover uncertainty and speculation over his own future, Ten Hag has had to deal with significant disciplinary issues and also navigating the legal situations of Anthony and Greenwood. And when you think about it, Ten Hag came to United almost the worst possible time. He came to United off the back of our worst of the season post Sir Alex, with the mess of the leaks what happened under the Ragnar era. We lost so many players that walked out for free. He then had to work with, John Murtough and Arnold to an improvement on Woodward and Judge, but they're still not the type of people you want to be working with. He then had the Greenwood situation. He then had the Anthony situation. He's then had just sort of situations with Sancho and players turning on him, Ronaldo going and Piers Morgan. He's had all these situations off the pitch, alongside having to try and get Man United back on the pitch, and which he kind of did well in his first season in the sense of he got a spur and he got us a trophy. He overachieved expectations in his first season, and he's brought through Kobbie Mainoo, he's brought through Garnacho. I saw someone complaining that Ten Hag doesn't play the youth. Yes, I'd like to see Ahmed play ahead of Anthony, but you can't say Ten Hag doesn't play the youth when he's bringing 18, 19-year-olds into the side. He's made Garnacho a regular starter in his first season, Kobbie Mainoo a regular starter in his second season. That hasn't really happened for a while. I mean, you could say Ollie brought through Greenwood, but nothing. McTominay sort of came through under Jose, but I think other than Van Gaal, we haven't really seen youth players get regular minutes, and I do like that from Ten Hag. And it was also said in regards to the story as well about Ten Hag that Ten Hag has been firefighting so many fronts that INEOS are in no immediate hurry to create more instability at the club by sacking him just 2 seasons into football's toughest job. This will only change if United have a poor season. And I've always been very clear, I will not make a decision on Ten Hag till the end of the season, because I like Ten Hag and I really want Ten Hag to succeed at United. I think sacking a manager every 2 years doesn't fix the bigger problems at the club, which are related to players and which are related to the board. And I think INEOS might be sitting there saying, you know what, like, we're not in a hurry to sack him because this club's got a lot of instability. We need to sort out the structure. We need to sort out the players. We've learned from these 10 years that actually sacking a manager every 2 years hasn't changed the problem. And I think that's good, because my mindset is I'm going to be Ten Hag into the end of the season. If things get really bad, and I think that it's really bad, and I don't know what Ten Hag's doing, then I can potentially come Ten Hag out at the end of the season. But as of now, I'm Ten Hag in. I want him to succeed. I want him to be given time because he's got a very difficult job. I thought he overachieved last season and did a good job. I think there's so much more that needs to be done before you sack another manager. However, if we don't see progress, if things get really bad towards the end of the season, then he may need to be sacked. My mindset is I back Ten Hag. I want Ten Hag to succeed. I am Ten Hag in until the end of the season, and I want Ten Hag to do well, and hopefully I'll still be Ten Hag in at the end of the season. If things continue the way they're going, picked up, unbeaten in the last 5 games, then I will be Ten Hag in at the end of the season. I like that he's played through the youth. I like aspects of what I see. I can see that he doesn't have the squad for it. I can see that players are issues, the board's an issue. I like that INEOS might be giving Ten Hag time and saying, look, you know what? There's so much instability at this club. Sacking the manager is going to create more issues. Why don't we give the manager another year? Why don't we give the manager 3 seasons? Because managers deserve time. Look at Arteta. If things go really wrong, then yeah, we'll have to say there's a standard and you've not met that standard. But if he finishes 6th, why don't we give him another season, work on other issues? And I think that's something that I like, that kind of approach from INEOS, if that is the approach. And I just realised I've shared the wrong screen. It was also said by Ten Hag on young players that young players, the future for Manchester United is quite bright with talent on board and we have to develop it. And I think Ten Hag, what he did last season, I think the fact that there's so many issues at the club, I think the fact that he's had so many injuries, so many issues off the pitch, and he's managed to bring through Mainoo and Garnacho should buy him time. And I think he'll probably be safe next season unless we just absolutely crash and become very bad, because it's so obvious we're so reliant on players like Martinez. But I do like that we're seeing Garnacho, Højlund and Mainoo be the core and the future of the squad. It's so young. Just really want to see Amad Diallo given the minutes over Anthony. It's frustrating that other youth players haven't had a chance, but you can't play them all. Some are just going to be more ready than others. In terms of young players as well, it was said that Ten Hag and Man United sort of scouts are looking at 4 Argentinian talents. I'm not too familiar with these players, but as you can see, they're on the screen. I'm not going to try and pronounce their name. If we get linked to these more, if Romano or Ornstein or Whitwell or someone with some really credible information starts talking to these players, I will do some research. I will do an analysis video on these players individually. But these are the guys that have been linked to United, and yeah, young players. It'd be nice to see us looking over in South America. It'd be nice to see INEOS put in a strategy of buying sort of players aged 20 to 26 who can come to United and we can turn them into superstars, like sort of Liverpool did when they brought Salah, when they brought Van Dijk. Good players that were turned into superstars, like Fergie did back in the day, like Man City did with Stones and De Bruyne. good players that can turn into superstars, get a few young players, up-and-coming talents like Man City did with Julian Alvarez, and then maybe get someone a bit more experienced in to just boost the levels of the squad is sort of the transfer strategy I'd like to see INEOS approach. In terms of young players as well, it was said by Fabrizio Romano that United have prepared a new contract proposal for Kobbie Mainoo. Initial discussions already took place with his camp to advance talks. United want Mainoo to be a crucial part of the project with a salary rise. I assume Mainoo will accept that. He's very young. He's very key. Things are going very well for him. And another player that I hope things go well for is Willy Kambala. I think he's a great player, but I also think he's got a great attitude. He said this in an interview: "I dreamed of Manchester United, and that's it. No other club even in England I didn't think about. I only thought about Man United. I don't know why, but as far as I remember, I only thought about United, so it's special for me here." And I said, I think 3 centre-backs will leave United. Evans, maybe Varane, unfortunately, because it looks like that, and one of Maguire and Lindelof. And for me, I'm happy for Willy Kambala to come up and be that Evans sort of backup, and United to bring in a left centre-back and a right centre-back. Because if we have Martinez, a good left centre-back, a good right centre-back, we've got 3 solid centre-backs, and Willy Kambala can be fourth choice. And I actually think there's a good player in there as well. And then in terms of the Villa preview, Lisandro Martinez will be out injured for that, which is obviously a bit of a setback, as Ten Hag has said. But Villa also do have some key injuries, and I will be doing a Villa preview tomorrow, so do subscribe for that. Thank you for watching today's Manchester United news roundup. We'll round up all the news in about 10 minutes for you guys. Smash the like, subscribe if you want more quick Manchester United news updates. I do live streams in the evening where we discuss this news in more details and get your opinions in, and I do videos in the morning where I sum up the news very quickly for you guys and get to the point. Thank you for watching. Bye.